My name is Matt MacBeth. I've been doing IoT stuff since iOS 3.1 came out when you can write code, and I've developed Wi-Fi alarm clocks and IP cameras and stuff. And about every 10 years or so, there's a huge disruption in user interfaces. Back at that time, anything you had, if you launched in the market and didn't have an app control it, whether it's toilet paper or anything else, was a horrible product. And that kind of bubble came up and came back down. And the new thing now is this voice control world, where what we're going to see in the near future is everything in the world is going to have a voice controller for it. So instead of having a mobile app or a desktop app or a on-off switch, you're just going to say, hey, lights on. And whether it's Google Assistant or whatever, that's how you're going to control stuff in the future, and you'll still have the other things. So what I thought would be kind of fun today is a example of, we're going to actually just look into what it takes to build an Alexa skill. So on a mobile phone, like in your iPhone, you launch Angry Birds, that's an app. If you do that on the voice control, it's called a skill. So it's, it doesn't, it might not be that skillful, it's just what they call it. And in the Apple world, they built this mobile app, this iTunes, the App Store, there's 400 billion apps or whatever there are now. And they also built this thing that you plug into the connector on an iPhone for accessories and headphones. They built it into a $40 billion a year licensing business. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon's going to start doing the same thing. They're going to have accessories for Alexa devices, and pretty soon we'll get to pay them 30 cents for every dollar of everything we make in our lives. So that'll be cool. Everybody have voice things. But what we're going to go through today is we're actually going to make an Alexa app. So I need approximately 15 volunteers who I'm going to choose without your permission. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to build an Alexa app. So when an Alexa app works, you have the Alexa device yourself. Pretend this is it. And then this thing is going to talk to some servers. So when you talk to this, it looks for a thing called a wake word. And when a wake word comes on, that's when supposedly you're allowed to record what's said and goes to the cloud. And the cloud looks at it. And there are two parts in the cloud that use to write an Alexa skill. You have this developer.amazon portal, where you actually make the skill. That's kind of like your iTunes Connect store. And then you have this Lambda server, which is the back-end cloud thing. That's kind of like your source code. And the cool thing about it is you can pretty much update your source code on the fly on your Lambda server. So is everybody familiar with the AWS, like the cloud-based side, the Lambdas and the S3s and all that kind of stuff? So if you're not sure about the terminology, just think there's a server in a cloud that's magical and it says AWS by Amazon by AWS. So we're going to start acting this out. So the first thing that happens when you write an app is you have a wake word. So you're going to be my wake word. So what you're going to do, anytime anyone says the word Alexa, you're going to hold that up in the air. So if I say Alexa, you do that. Okay, so that means the wake word is live. So after you say Alexa and the wake word goes high, then you can start using your commands. But if the wake word's down, I can say, what time is it? It's kind of like Simon Says. Simon says, what time is it? It's kind of like saying, Alexa, what time is it? But we don't have that part in yet because we don't have our Lambda server set up. So we need to create basically an instruction set. It's called an invocation. And you look like a good volunteer. You're going to be our what time is it invocation. So if you get the wake word that says Simon Says and someone says what time is it, you have to hold that up in the air and say what time it is. But Gene is on the phone right now, so hold on, we'll just keep going. No pressure. You're fine. Okay, so Calvin's the new wake word. Okay, that's like in Alexa, you can reprogram your wake word to be computer or robot or whatever. So we'll still keep that as the wake word. Okay, so we're going to have so we have our first invocation, which is through the magic of PowerPoint. What time is it? So if I say Alexa, oh, hang on, I didn't say what time is it yet. Hold on, put it back down. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what time is it? There we go. Excellent. So we're going to have another one. We're going to have another invocation. This is the IndyAWS Meetup gratuitous plug function. So Colleen, where are you? Oh, do you have to stay way back there? Because it's going to be hard for demonstration if you yell from there. I'm loud. Okay. So now what happens if we say the wake word and then we say this function name AWS Meetup? The wake word is going to call a function that sits on our Lambda server. So here's our function table. So if I say the wake word, then I say AWS Meetup, you're going to read what's on the bottom of the page there. So let's try it out here. So we're going to say, Alexa, tell me about IndyAWS Wake Up and AWS Meetup. Hold yours up. And then that's going to cue the function to say,
thank you for checking out the AWS Alexa skill. I'd like to hear the next meetup of the week. You say yes, no, help, or stop.
excellent. So now that we've launched Alexa Stop, okay, so we put yours down. So now that we've launched this, we're going to create these things called intents. So it's not really a real conversation you have with Alexa. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, where the point of the user interface is trick the user to go down the path you want and make them think it's their idea. So we're going to create a function, we're going to create this intent. So when we say, so basically we're trying to trick the user to say yes, no, help, or stop, and then force that into something that sounds like a conversation. So Anita, you have your hands full, you're eating, here you go. You're going to be our yes intent. So anytime we say keyword, then we say the function AWS Meetup, and anybody in the room says yes, you have to hold that up. And then you're going to tell the yes function, oop, that's help. You're going to tell the yes function, Mr. John. So if she holds that up, you have to read what's on your page. So we're going to try to step through here. So I can say, Alexa, tell me about IndyAWS Meetup. Boom, triggers the function.
Yes, no, help, or stop.
Say it again, what'd you say?
You can say yes, no, help, or stop.
You said yes, so yes, okay, yes is up.
The next meetup is Tuesday, July 17th at noon here at the district camp. Would you like to hear that again, yes or no?
So let's pretend the no comes up next because I have to hand those out. So, thank you for volunteering. You're the no intent.
Okay.
So anytime anybody in the world says no, while Colleen is holding up her thing, you have to hold yours up.
Okay.
And then you're going to fire off the no function. So let's try that now. No. Nope, she didn't hold it up. Okay. All right, so let's step through here a bit. So when you hold yours up, you're going to tell someone to say no. So you're going to help us with our no function. So you're going to be our no intent that's on developer.aws.com, and you're going to be the function that runs on the Lambda server. So you're basically two servers talking to each other. So you're going to hold yours up. You're going to say, hey, read yours.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
That's all she said?
Yep. So we're also going to have a stop intent. You want to do a stop intent? So basically, when stop intent comes up, you just say, everybody in the room, put your signs down, stop it, we're out of here, and then you're going to say, like, goodbye or something like that. So you're pretty much the kill switch on everything. And then, as far as helpful people, we have a helpful crowd over here. Are you guys either front-end developers or back-end developers? Back-end, okay, you get the function. Any front-end developers in here? All right. All right, so if we go through this and anybody says help, you have to hold yours up to fire off the back-end function. All right. So who's ready to try this? All right. So Alexa, what time is it? Excellent. So one thing on that is we're going to go back here to what time is it, is you basically have 10 seconds for me to say, Alexa, and then the timer starts. And if you don't say anything with 10 seconds, Alexa goes back down. Even though I meant to say that, you're supposed to take it back down. So you did what I meant to say. So now we're going to go to one. We're going to run through the, we're going to go through the IndyAWS Meetup. So I'm going to say, open AWS Meetup. But I didn't say Alexa, so you have to put yours back down. So what's the most annoying thing when you have a smart home assistant? You have to say Alexa. You have to say Alexa. Or when you mean to say Alexa, you really didn't want to because you're just using it in conversation, or your daughter's name's Alexa. So that's just kind of the point you have to get across. So we're going to try to walk someone through this function to get them to find out when the next AWS Meetup is going to be. So we're going to start with Alexa, and then we're going to say, open IndyAWS Meetup. And then from opening AWS Meetup, we're going to read who has the read? Oh, here we go. So say yours real quick. What do we want to say? Do we want to hear it? Yeah. Okay, yes. But let's pause here for a second, just for the demo. Because this is a built-in Amazon intent, you don't have to just say yes. You can say yes, yeah, sure, let's do it. It's kind of, in the world of programming, you have variables. And in the Amazon world, you have these slots. So you can program it to say, you don't have to say yes every time. You say yes, yeah, let's do it, all right, neato. And it'll forward you on from your intent over to your function. And then when you get to the yes function, so let's loop back out of this. So let's say we're going to say no. So if you say no, we fire up the no intent, and then that fires the no function. And then we're out of it. So then that comes out. Oh, we should have had the back in the back, Colleen. We're going to try this one more time. So we're going to, until we say, we got to watch on here because your intent was still alive. So if you pull yours down, that means everybody loses voice communication. So we're going to try that one again. Okay, let's go. All right, so I think we can do this. And obviously, this is the first and last time we'll probably ever do this presentation. So, Alexa, boom. Tell me about IndyAWS Meetup. Okay, you have to keep holding them up this time, though, because your function's still live. Yours is live, so you fire off yours.
Thank you for checking out the AWS Alexa skills. I can hear the next meetup will be.
Hold it way up. Yep, okay, so let's say yes, let's do it. Boom, you're up. Okay, so see all of these functions that are live right now? So as long as these are up here live, we're good to go. But if I say stop, where's our, hold yours up for stop, guys. Hold everything up for stop. And then when stop happens, then you say, hey, everybody put your signs down. So stop. Put your signs down. There we go. So that cancels out all of the functions. That's like killing a subroutine or pushing stuff to a stack. It just deletes it or whatever programmers call that stuff. So, and there's no memory crashes, that kind of stuff. So we're going to run through this thing one more time. And then I think we've probably beaten this horse pretty bad. So, Alexa, what time is it? Just a throw loop. Excellent. Hold on. 9, 10 seconds. Okay, now you can put it down. Okay, cool. So you can do tricks, that 10-second thing. Have you heard the thing, there's like this data hack of someone hacked Amazon so it listened all the time? So there's this Amazon intent called literal. What it does is basically anytime it hears any word, it's an English word, it starts recording. And if you throw a loop that says literal, 10, like every 9 seconds, you're basically recording to everything everybody says. And no manufacturer would ever do that in our lifetime, except for the ones that got busted already. So, quick side note, anybody watch Silicon Valley Season 5?
No spoilers, haven't seen it yet.
Oh, come on, dude. Okay. Anyways, that show's relevant to everything we do in our lives. All right, so we're going to run through one more thing here, then we'll see if there's any questions on what we're doing here. Or maybe we'll just say, don't ever do this again. Okay. Open IndyAWS Meetup. No! Ah. Okay. Yep. Now we got to start over again. Okay, what's an Alexa wake word? Okay, Alexa, open IndyAWS Meetup group skill demo. Excellent. Let's hear about it.
Yes.
Yes.
The next meetup is Tuesday, July 17th at noon. Would you like to hear that again? Yes.
Can you help me? Oh, we have a help intent. What happens with a help intent fires? Back end guy. What do you think? Stop. What happens when you stop? Everybody put them down. All right, cool. All right, so I think that horse has been kicked around enough. So does everybody kind of get an idea of how you have this program flow? You can't really make a real conversation. You have to trick them into thinking it's their idea. It's basically marketing. So it's, that's just the reality of things. So when you think of a really good AI chatbot, it's just how you think through the user flow process, what you want to trick the user to say, and then options for what the word says. So anybody have any kind of questions on that while we're rolling around here? Anybody have any questions about other things Alexa does? Gene?
How do you know the equivalent words for yes, yeah, no, nah, is there?
Yeah, so that's your jobs here in the crowd. So raise your hand if you have an Alexa. It is your job as a human being to teach Alexa what the other words for no are. So that's why Alexa's in your house. Is Alexa listens for these yes, no intents, And as different programmers write their apps, like maybe it's no, maybe it's nah, it's whatever, Alexa learns that as a no intent and starts to build this machine learning language database. It's actually more of a deep learning database of those are other words for no. So that's why Amazon wants us to program Alexa apps, is because we're training their machine learning language and their deep learning.
Are there then models per user?
Yeah.
Per account in Alexa?
Yeah, so there's also what is called this built-in intent. So basically the ones that Alexa has already done this work on, like yes is a built-in intent, literal is a built-in intent, no is a built-in intent, and help. So those ones, Alexa already has this database of 1,000 words that will get you to that intent. But you can also build your own custom intent. Like maybe you want to say barrel. Like anytime someone says barrel, you want a light to flash or something in your house. So you build a custom intent, and then inside that intent, it gives you different words to equivocate to intent. So on the development side, you put in an intent that's barrel, and maybe you have round, maybe you have cylinder, and then all of those are the variables that fire off the backend function code.
When you say kind of learn, does it learn from the person speaking to it, or does it learn just by what the developer puts into the other intents?
It can actually do both. Yep, so if I have an app with intent as barrel and you also have one, it's going to say, hey, Matt's different words for barrel or cylinder, round, and yours might be tall and whatever that thing is. And it's going to start using the deep learning to start equivocating this. So maybe it says, we both have round, we both have cylinder. So it's going to pick those two, but maybe kick the other ones out. So it's kind of like maybe like breeds a cat. You have a tabby, you have a calico, but they're both cats. So it kicks out the ones that are different, keeps the ones that are the same. So, yeah, go ahead. The wake word? So you get to pick, let's pretend that we have hit the mute button on our Alexa, so every time we say Alexa, Gene can keep eating. So we hit the mute button over here. So you can change the wake word legally on an Amazon Alexa to computer, Echo, Alexa, and something else. I can't remember what the fourth is. So that's just part of the Amazon licensing. To use their machine engine, you have to use those wake words. If you're just making some fun stuff around your house, like I have for my brother, like every time he says his dog's name, I hit a Raspberry Pi with a fake wake word that's the dog's name. The Alexa starts doing weird things. So you can take a Raspberry Pi and say, yeah, I agree to the license, and then you don't have to do it. You can make your wake word anything you want. So if you're just building one for yourself in a house, you can make it anything you want.
So are you going to be able to use Edwin as a wake word?
Possibly. We'll talk about that in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
On the learning, if I have an Alexa in my house, it's learning from me, but does it also incorporate what it learns from your Alexa and from other people?
Yeah, yes, it does. Yeah, so that way, like the no. So let's leave that up here. So for this yes, so every time I answer to a yes question, I say a different word, and maybe Calvin matches it, and maybe John matches it. Then it updates to yours. So yours gets to pick up on the smartness of everyone else.
What about the hardware aspect of Alexa?
Yeah.
Does it have directional microphones?
So depending on which device, but most of them, let's pretend this is Alexa. So most of them say this is an Echo Dot. It'll have microphones the whole way around it. And the cool thing about it is this will be our LED indicator. So if I talk from here, it's going to notice I'm talking from here. So if you look at the ring on top of your Alexa, it actually points to where you're talking from. Unless you're doing a trick like it's doing this and it's bouncing off the wall. So it's omnidirectional, but it picks up the direction where you're coming from. It cancels out the noise, so the voice works better. Cam. No. Of course you've seen the Facebook video where they do kindler, gentler Facebook. We would never do that. So, yeah, but no. But there's an oversight board, I'm sure, at Amazon is looking out for us. So who in here has never used a voice assistant, an Amazon thing, an Alexa, a Google Assistant, a Siri? Has anyone not ever used one? Does anybody have Google Assistant and one of the other ones, or Siri and one of the other ones? So which one do you like best?
For me, it kind of depends. I think Alexa's more open and better for skills and like doing various things, whereas Google makes it a slightly better assistant, like integrating with calendar and things like that.
Cool.
Google seems more intuitive when it comes to, being able
Cameron, what do you like the Google one?
It does what I actually want to do, whereas Google, like I have to, or unless I have to put a skill in there,
Yeah.
so I have to physically do something and click a button. And with Google, I can just say like, hey, I want you to do this thing, and it figures it out.
So like, what do you mean you have to use a button?
Well, it used to be, I don't know if this before since I gave up on my Alexa, but you had to actually install the skill.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And that was annoying to me that they couldn't just figure out that I wanted to play a game of trivia. You know, I had
Yeah.
to change my game of trivia.
Yeah, they actually updated it about a month ago, and now you can just say open IndyAWS Meetup, and it goes. You used to go into a phone, have to go into this menu and set things, and then use an app to talk to your Alexa, and it was just really weird. So they were able to, through their system, pass a small update in 9 months or so.
Question about Alexa or Amazon recently released Kids Echo Dot.
Yes.
What is different about the kids version of the Dot?
So there's two versions. One is you can lock down, so there's like a kids mode, so I can say only let apps rated 0 to 5 through. And the other's on the COPA compliance side. So for a kid to use it or an adult, you have to verify through a credit card if you're below the age of 13. So that. So the Alexa Dot for kids came out recently. So this is for younger kids to get on the system. So it's kind of a, put a speed limiter on your car. You can't go to all the websites. It lets you kind of handpick. If I let you, maybe I'll let you go to Google Kids, or YouTube Kids, but you can't go to full YouTube. You can kind of limit what the kids get to. But yeah, it's mostly to limit because of the way the COPA compliance laws are. Again, if you watch Silicon Valley, the best reference of mankind, you can learn about COPA compliance in one episode in a way lawyers will never explain it to you. But the whole thing is kids under the age of 13, they just can't go out on the internet and buy stuff. Like there's, I think South Park had an episode or something that's, it said Alexa buy this or whatever, so they, told all the Alexas that everybody watching South Park ended up buying a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon.com. So, which is brilliant, so.